Welcome back, my delinquents of the reaction kind. Today we're doing Toilet Sink Submarine, most expensive bowel movement ever. And I just want to say a quick thanks for getting to 1,000 subs last night. We're fully monetized, baby. Oh yeah. Let's get into this video before I make a bigger ass out of myself.
Today we're talking about that time in World War II when a German officer sank his own submarine by taking a dump. Yeah, this actually happened. But first, an ad. This video is brought to you by Warwood Tools, an American family.
When you're that bad at your job, like honestly me if I was in the Navy. might be.
Based out of West Virginia that's been making sledgehammers and axes for over 165 years. I mean, look at this bad boy. It's a 10-pound sledgehammer made out of 1060 high-carbon steel that was forged using World War II era drop hammers. So next time somebody tells you they don't make things like they used to, just know that Warwood actually does. Back to the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Type 7 German U-boat. U-boat just means underwater boat, aka it's a submarine, and the Germans just wanted to use a different name so that they could feel special. But with the Type 7 U-boat in particular, a special name.
That's why we have half the scuff things, but I wanted to feel extra special.
Just wasn't special enough. No. They also had to have a special type of toilet. You see, the Germans didn't want to use a septic tank.
Armies, the first ever, not like other girls.
On board for their bathrooms like literally every other submarine ever, you know, because septic tanks made sense and were convenient. I mean, they took up a lot of space and added weight, apparently. So instead, they engineered their way out of common sense and proceeded to make a toilet that would flush directly into the ocean, which honestly wasn't a terrible idea except for the fact that you could only flush when the submarine was above water, which, as I'm sure you can tell by the name Submarine, wasn't all that often. You see, when the submarine was underwater, it meant—
yeah, I guess, like, with some logic above water, but the pressure and stuff, so I guess it would be helpful if you could get it to work. But the whole system of don't flush underwater when you have a bunch of guys not thinking, or people in general, just like, never rely on humans to do the smart thing, just make it stupid proof.
That the pressure outside of the sub was greater than the pressure in the sub, and you can't exactly flush a toilet into a higher pressure system because that's not how toilets work, because, you know, gravity and science and shit.
Yes, science!
If you're not picking up on a button down, I'm trying to tell you that every time this submarine was underwater and one of the 50 crewmen had to take a piss or honk out a dirt snake, they had to do it into a bucket because the toilets didn't work.
Dear God.
And then they just had to leave the bucket sitting out and hope they didn't spill, which is what the medical community refers to as fucking disgusting.
Nasty, ew.
The turd-tagonist of our story, ladies and gentlemen, U-boat 1206. It would depart for its first war patrol ever on April 6, 1945, under the command of 28-year-old Adolf Schlitt. And Commander Schlitt's new vessel was equipped with the latest and greatest toilet technology. You see, the Germans had addressed the issue of not being able to flush underwater, and it absolutely was not by equipping a septic tank like everyone else. No, they had—
This is gonna get stupid real quick.
Had superior German engineering, and that's exactly what they used on their toilet, because they created a toilet that would flush into a pressure chamber that they would then pressurize to a pressure that was greater than the water pressure outside of the sub, and then they would open it and shoot the feces into the water like a poop torpedo. They literally made a turd torpedo.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Which honestly infuriates me on so many different levels. Because A, they're roaming around the 7 seas blowing mud all over the ocean floor, and I can't even get a plastic straw 78 years later. Look, I'm not saying I don't care about the turtles. All I'm saying is we need to come up with a compromise where I can pretend to give a shit about ocean animals while also not having a mushy straw halfway.
Honestly, I feel like the compromise is just always have a metal straw in your car. That's what most people in my family do now, because nasty paper straws. But also, plastic tastes like shit anyway, so things taste better through metal, fight me.
Way through my drink. Secondly, and probably most importantly, this toilet was so complex and it was so vital that it be used 100% correctly 100% of the time that they had to train a new crew member, and his whole job was to flush this toilet. And his job title was, and I quote, the shit man.
The shit man. Oh my god. Imagine it's like, my son's in the army, such a great job. What do you do, son? I flush a toilet.
There's a significant difference between being the shit man and being the shit man, because one of them means that you're probably a pretty cool guy, and the other one means that all your coworkers are going to talk to you like this.
Shitter was full!
Yeah. You checked our shitters, honey?
Okay, first of all, having a toilet be so complex that it necessitates its own career path is the brightest shining example of German engineering I've ever seen in my entire life. And secondly, it's important to remember the
Sometimes you just gotta keep it simple, stupid. Oh my
They
god.
did this was to save space and weight by not having a septic tank. Now, they have a new member of the crew whose whole job is to flush the toilet. He's also going to need somewhere to live, and he's going to have to eat food. At best, they're maybe breaking even. And to top it all off, they're also launching butt burritos at innocent turtles. This is unacceptable. Okay.
But also, I find it funny, like, sometimes when you think about this stuff, like, when you think of a submarine, you never think, wow, where does the shit from the toilet go? Like, I've never thought about it, that it would obviously have septic tanks. Like, didn't even cross my mind.
Okay, so U-Boat 1206 is on its first war patrol ever. 8 days into that war patrol, Commander Schlitt has to take a shit. You can't make this up. So the commander goes in the submarine, does what he has to do, and then when it comes time to summon the toilet guy, whose whole job is to flush the toilet and nothing else, he decides, nah, if anybody's gonna launch this stink pickle at an innocent fish, it's gonna be me. Plus, I'm an officer. I'm smart. How complex could it be? Things promptly go catastrophically wrong, and the entire compartment begins filling with his own feces and seawater. Which honestly wouldn't be the end of the world, except for the fact that this compartment was also full of high-capacity batteries for the submarine, and when high-capacity batteries are exposed to salt water, they start to release hydrogen and chlorine gas. Hydrogen
This
being
is such a
extremely
shit
flammable and
show.
chlorine
That-
gas being toxic, would force the crew to immediately surface a vessel, open up the hatch, and start venting the toxic fumes. And just when you think this day couldn't get any shittier, they were immediately spotted by the Royal Air Force, who began attacking them. The RAF would then critically damage U-Boat 1206, causing the entire crew to flee on life
God.
rafts, where they were captured and held prisoner till the end of the war about
Couldn't have possibly got any worse. They fucked up on a colossal scale.
3 weeks later. Commander Schlitt would actually survive and live to the age of 90 when he passed away in 2009, being probably the only guy to go to the bathroom and actually blow it up. So in conclusion, I truly believe that this may be the most expensive and consequential bowel movement in human history, and if it's not, I need you to let me know in the comments what actually
this
is.
would-
And you
if
made it
this
this
isn't
far
a
in the video,
series,
thanks for
it's a
watching.
crime.
Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
100% need a series of worst toilet incidents. Oh, toilet. I find the toilet deaths very interesting. Just the weird deaths like that. So, yeah, I would love this. That this actually turned out to be a series. How old is this video before we, like, end up? It's a year ago. God, there must be more toilet incidents out there, for real. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you for 1,000 subs on the React channel. If you're not subbed to the main, I guess if you like VTubing, you can go over there, or the gaming channel. But thank you so much. I'll keep making content and making more and more stuff for you guys. Let's go. And I'll catch you next time.